Did you know that many people would rather give themselves an electric shock than be alone with their thoughts for just 15 minutes? That's what a study found in 2014, and the world has only become more chaotic since then.
The newsfeed just rolls on.
I'm always connected, I'm always on, I'm always working.
Productivity.
The algorithm.
Deadline.
This crazy, productivity-obsessed world is killing your creativity. Of course, we need to make stuff. We need to be productive sometimes as creatives, but to thrive, we need to be able to do nothing. So what does doing nothing really mean in relation to a creative practice? And how can it transform your work? Plus, I will share 3 books in this video that have taught me the power of doing nothing over the years. So firstly, what do I actually mean by doing nothing? It's a tricky one to define, but I am going to paraphrase Jenny Odell's book, How to Do Nothing, to help me out here. For Odell, doing nothing means resisting the urge to always be productive and instead focusing on activities that don't have an immediate economic or practical value, like self-reflection or observing the world around you. The magic of doing nothing is that it makes you more aware. That's both internally, so in a sense of self-reflection, and also externally, so you're more aware of the world around you. This is so important to developing a truly unique creative practice. Let's run through a few ways that I like to do nothing as a creative. Recently, I've been reading The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and in it she talks about something called the morning pages, a really simple process where you write in the morning 3 pages of anything that crosses your mind. And just to note, this should be done as quickly as possible after you wake up. And you might be thinking, like, this is obviously just journaling, Jack. You would be right, it is a journaling technique, but the power of the morning pages lies in the fact that you do them first thing in the morning. I'm not going to assume you do this, but a lot of people in the morning now will wake up, check Instagram, check the news. The morning pages are an antidote to this. Rather than clog your brain first thing in the morning, you are creating a habit which flushes it out, leaving room for inspiration. I'll often start my morning pages with a bad feeling that I'm having. Usually I have some concerns first thing in the morning, and by the end of it, I've always come up with a really good idea. And here's a tip. Use these sticky bookmarks here to bookmark whenever you write something you really like. You'll really appreciate it later on when you filled a lot of these notebooks, so you can come back and find any little nuggets of inspiration. Something I wrote about recently in my morning pages was how I am using walking as a creative tool. We all know the benefits of walking, but I want to talk today about how you can use walking as a really good way to gather creative inspiration. As a 3D artist, I have gathered so many references from my walks. These are things that I've used in so many artworks today. And I started doing this after reading The Art of Noticing by Rob Walker. It's essentially a set of tools to get you to be more attentive, to look at the world in a different way. And here are a couple of techniques you can do whilst you're on walks. Activity 1. Take pictures of numbers you see when you're out and about. There is a rule to this game which you have to stick to, which makes it really fun. You have to take pictures of numbers from 0 to 100. So if you're stuck at 53, you can't go and take a picture of a 74, although you can remember where the 74 was. You find so many different styles of typography, form and color when you're out and about looking for these numbers. I highly recommend it. Activity 2. The single object scavenger hunt. In this activity, you go out and conduct a search for one object. In the book, Rob Walker has a walk where he only searches for surveillance cameras, and he mentions how he'd never noticed the variety in surveillance cameras, the textures, for example, the colors. Here's a key takeaway. Be that weird person who takes pictures of stuff they find interesting when they're out and about. The amount of times that I have really regretted not taking a picture of something amazing that I've seen. I mean, there's so many times that I've done that, but the ones that I have taken, I have cherished forever. There was one in Barcelona where even the split second of me not taking the photo meant that because I was on a train, I missed the photo of this amazing building by half a second, and this is the picture that I did take. I got some of the building, but I wish I would have taken the picture when I actually first realized that I loved that building. So there's a lesson. Don't be the creative who only makes stuff from algorithm feeds such as Pinterest, because that will mean your work will be the same as everybody else. You're only as good as your references. Remember that. And if you're someone who always wears headphones when you're out and about, this next one's for you, and it's all about silence. Silence is so important. It gives our minds the space to process information and come up with new ideas. Unfortunately, nowadays, it's really hard to come by. The all-encompassing media juggernaut that is around us at all times means that when we're walking, running, showering, cooking, whatever, we always have the opportunity to put on a piece of media, whether that will be a podcast, piece of music, YouTube video, movie. This can be something we rely on. The endless consumption of media, the constant need to fill a silence. This gives no space for creative inspiration to come visit us. In fact, in 2013, a study found that just 2 hours of silence can help grow new cells in the hippocampus, an area of the brain linked to memory and learning. Nowadays, I'll leave my headphones behind when I go for a run. Being outdoors, getting the blood pumping, this always is a time where amazing ideas come in. I'll also have my phone on me still, which has a voice notes app. So if ideas do come in, I can stick it on a voice note and then listen to it later. Here's a challenge for you if you're someone who likes to fill the silence. Do just one activity this week and do it without anything on, just silence. That one activity might be the thing you do in silence forever, and it might be the thing that leads to amazing new creative ideas coming in. Doing nothing can actually be one of the most powerful ways to spark creativity. It's not about being lazy, remember, it's about creating that space up here for inspiration to find you. I've shared some tools today that I hope will help you embrace stillness in your creative practice. And there's further reading. Those books that I mentioned earlier, I'll stick them in the description below so you can go check them out as well. If any of these ideas resonate with you, try them out this week. I'd love to hear how you get on as well, so do let me know in the comments. And why not start right now? Go for a walk, find some inspiration, and see if any ideas come your way. What are you waiting for? Off you go.